So the accusation centrally is that you have weakened this bill. It's not what you took to Parliament.
Something. In all humility, I would say that on this bill, I don't think there's been anybody more vocal than myself in the last 5 years in our country. At a point in time, you mentioned Sam George. The next thing that follows was LGBTQ. For the better part of the 5 years when we're doing this, Honorable Ntim Fordjour, I've always given him credit that he was the only NPP member of Parliament who was bold enough to sign the legislation. But his commentary was very muted because of the regime at the time. I hear him, and I had a very lengthy conversation with him yesterday, and I made the point very well known to him, my position on this. If we say we have a principle, let's stick to that principle. There are things we play politics with, and there are things we don't play politics with. It hurts me to say that Ntim Fordjour and a number of the NPP people who are speaking on this matter are simply playing politics. It's about trying to whitewash President Akufo-Addo's refusal to sign the bill and trying to make excuses for him. They have always believed and thought that the NDC was not committed to signing this bill or passing this bill and getting it before the president. This whole agitation is political.
On the 15th of February 2024, Osahe Afenyomaa King rose to ask certain questions, and that led to shelving the third reading or aborting the third reading. He spoke about why you can't jail a person over sexuality, and the major issues he raised are almost the same thing we are talking about now. He said, among other things, that a person should not be made to face jail simply because they are offering the services that you just mentioned, including for journalists, for media, and so on. You rose and said, hell no, this must not be allowed. So what changed?
Something. I made the point then, and I make the point now. When Osahini said people were going to be jailed for that, I said his reading of the law was wrong, and that there were exemptions in that legislation that prohibited or exempted those persons, because I said it was subject to the Constitution. So my opposition to him was that he was misreading and misinterpreting the legislation. And for the avoidance of any doubt, if we've decided that, okay, let us spell out what those exemptions are. Because I had always maintained that a journalist who was doing his journalistic work was not going to be liable for advocacy. A lawyer definitely offering services to a client in court could not have been said to be advocacy.